Hey everyone. And with COVID, and since the properties are all so spread out, it's going to take a while for me to get to the point where I can go and visit each of you, and go over services and go all over all of this in person. I am going to do my best to do these videos where you have them at your disposal, where you can reference them and go back and check. And I 100% understand why sometimes, seeing and hearing it is a lot easier than me trying to explain something by typing an email or even just trying to talk to you over the phone. So I'm going to start with the service log again. I made a general one for all the managers earlier, but I discovered that yours is just so much more intense. And even those of you that had the monthly Lura requirements in the past, like this is still on just a whole other level. And please know that we do realize that, and we feel for you. We know this is not easy, and there is a steep learning curve, and that's why we're trying so hard to walk you through this. And this is why I started in December of 2019, trying to prepare you best I could slowly so it wouldn't overwhelm you too much. So first, this is called the bond service logs. When you go into Redbook in the resident services folder, this is not going to be your property number, okay? Because right now it's a one general sign-in sheet for all of you. I did tweak it a little after I did the T-Shack service report, and I added a column for who your partner or provider was. Oftentimes, Hamilton Valley or your property will be the partner provider, like if you're doing it. That's all. That's okay to have right there. And I know when I made service plans, I said, well, we're going to partner with home health, or we're going to partner with this person. But I don't know maybe the specific home health that's coming that month, or the specific banker, or the specific insurance person. So we're going to do that. In addition, it's already uploaded on Redbook. When I send this video link out to the managers, I'm going to also include this attachment. But I'm just going to start at the very top, at the very beginning, on TDHCA services. TDHCA requires for us to have 8 points a month. And as I've been telling you since April of last year, that I've tried to make this as easy as possible for y'all, because this is a lot. Like no one is going to ever doubt that this is not a lot of work on you. So I did my best to find the best way to put it as easy as possible on y'all, so it hopefully won't stress you too much. So my suggestion for your 8 points for TDHCA is to have your food pantry, which most of y'all started during COVID last year. If you didn't already have it, these are in place. And if they're not, they should be, yesterday, they should be in place. Food pantries worth 2 points every month. You have your food pantry, whether it's in your community room, your office. You have it available during business hours. You have the sign-in sheet there for them to sign in when they donate, when they take. And yes, not everyone will remember, but have it there, have it available. So that's 2 points. Second, partnership with local law enforcement and or local first responders. Okay, most of you have an agreement in place. We actually don't need the signed agreement. What we actually only need to do is invite them every quarter. So even if you do not have the agreement in place, I would still love to get it in case there's ever any turnover or any question. We can say, we have talked to them about this and we want to do this, and approach it like that. So say if you were to turn in your March service report, whether you have it scheduled for January, February, or March, it will still count because it's quarterly. So as long as you're still planning on doing this every quarter, every month you turn this in, go ahead and check it off. And obviously the month you actually have it, you will maybe you'll add the details. But if you didn't have it in January, you didn't have it in February, you'll check the box, but you can leave the rest of it blank. But from March, when you have it, you will say, oh, we did it, and 8 people came. Next, weekly home chores. This is done weekly. You have the one box, pretty self-explanatory, it's worth 2 points. Notary service during office hours. All of you who are notaries, you're probably finding that this is not something people are coming in every day to ask for. You know, some of you have sent in some sign-in sheets with people who've gotten things notarized. There are managers who've been notaries for years that, you know, average one every 6 months. Okay, but you have it. You have your notary certificate hanging somewhere in your office. You have the flyer hanging somewhere. Every single month, you are a notary. Even if you haven't signed anything, you're still going to check it because you are a notary. And then contracted career trainings and placements with the WorkSource offices. If you have that signed and in place, even if you don't do anything with them that month, you check it off. Okay, if they send you flyers and you pass them out, you're going to check it off and say, you know, I gave it to all 32 of my residents, all 32 units received one. So you put 32 into this campaign. So with those services, food pantry, law enforcement, weekly home chores, workforce solutions, notary. That's 9 points. So your TDHCA services, if you use the ones I've given you, are worth 9 points. Now, if for some reason they don't work out, and they might not, we have to switch them out, which leads me to these 2 documents. When I started sending you service questions and we started brainstorming in April of last year, one of the last things I sent to you before I made your service plan that we had to send it to TSHAC was a document that looked like this. This one is for Pantries, and it's 7 pages long because I started the first one with my suggestions and my comments are highlighted for all the services. And then I copied and pasted all of the choices. Okay, so if you are not getting your 8 points for TDHCA, you're going to come back to this document. And if you need me to send it to you again, I will. But, okay, so TDHCA gives us 21 options to get our 8 points. That's actually a lot of options. Some of them are just not feasible, okay? I'm going to quickly go through them. First one, shuttle at least 3 days to a week. This is one we try to avoid. It's just not the easiest to do because I highly doubt any of you have your own personal shuttle service. So I'm just going to skip over that one. Number 2 is monthly transportation to community and social events. I'm going to skip over that. Number 3, provide a high quality pre-K program. Would be amazing, but we don't have the facilities or staff for that. 4, 12 hours of weekly organized on-site services provided to K-12 children. Amazing, but we don't have the facilities or personnel for that. 5, 4 hours of weekly organized on-site classes provided to an adult audience. Again, fabulous. Y'all don't have 4 hours a week to dedicate to that. 6, annual income tax preparation. If any of you know someone that will come and do income tax, it is a great service, and we can totally do it. It's worth a point. It's something you have to do once a year, you get the point. So if you have that resource available to you, we can definitely talk about adding that to yours. External partnership for weekly substance abuse meetings. If you have a nice community room and you know that there's a local NA or AA group that needs a place to meet, all you have to do is offer it and you get points. Food pantry, which we do, an annual health fair is a fabulous thing if you have lots of medical health type providers that would all come on one day. And again, this is a service that you get points for all year. You just have to do it one time. If you have the resources and the connections, it's great. But if you're still building that, you might want to hold off on considering that an option. One that I've heard quite a few of you say that you're trying to get going or you have going is weekly exercise classes. Y'all, I'm still wearing my running clothes for lunch, so you obviously know that I love exercise. I try to inspire y'all to exercise. So, I'm all about this service, but it depends on your residents. So if you have it, that's 2 points, especially if you have residents that take the initiative and they lead it. Absolutely, you can do that. Contracted on-site occupational or physical therapy services would be amazing if we could do it. Partnership with local law enforcement, which I've gone over. Notary services, I've gone over. Okay, this is the big one that I saw on a lot of y'all's service logs that you turned in. Some of them were put in the wrong spot, and others just weren't fully done. But I do understand the confusion, so don't feel bad. So because I'm giving y'all room to make this your own, I have these 3 blanks that say other TDHCA or other LURA approved services. So you can add any of the things we talked about or any of the things we're about to talk about for TDHCA in here if some of these don't work out, or if you do extra. I would not ask you to do extra because you're doing plenty, but if it's just who you are and you're doing extra, please document it. So this is where you type it in. You type it in from what this says. This is going to be what's in your LURA. This is what I'm saying. This is the TDHCA language. Twice monthly, arts, crafts, or other recreational activities. Okay, book clubs, creative writing, arts and crafts, game days. Those are all awesome, and I know residents love them. So if you're going to do this, you have to have it twice a month for it to count, even for 1 point. So you would have to have 2 game days, or a game day and an arts and crafts day. 2 different services at 2 different times for the 1 point. So if you write down that you did a Valentine's craft, I will be super excited you did a Valentine's craft, but you don't get any points from TDHCA for doing 1 Valentine's craft. Now, if you paired it with something else, if you paired it before a speaker came in, you would just call it whatever it was like a speaker did because you only did it once. Okay, the same with twice monthly social events, potlucks, sing-along, movie nights, birthday parties. Again, all awesome things that we love to do. But 1, you have to do it twice. It has to be done twice a month for you to get the point. So if you just write coffee and donuts and you only did it once, it doesn't count at all. And I know it's frustrating and it's sad, but the only things you can write in these 3 boxes are services that come from this list from TDHCA and are done how they say they want it done. Okay? Just going over the rest of these: case management services, weekly home chores, Any of the programs described under Title 4A of the Social Security Act. P.S. I searched for months on what those programs are, and it's very hard to find anything on that. 20, a part-time service residence coordinator with dedicated office space. If any of you have one of those, let me know. And provision by either development owner or community partner of an education, tuition, or savings match program. So while they give us 21 options, and they're all great options that if we had an unlimited budget and unlimited staff, we would love to do at our properties, but we have to get 8 points a month for our TDHCA services. And only these 21 count towards these 8 points at the top of your service log. Okay? Please ask me if you have any questions on this. Shoot me an email, call me. I know it's new for you, but hopefully that cleared it up a little. Okay, so moving down to the bottom half of this are T-Shack services. And I don't know if y'all caught in the webinar how that gets reported, but I'm going to be doing that for you. But you have to say what it is, and then the description of what you do, the partner and the provider, and the number of participants, and obviously the date. And that's why I added the provider column, is it's really mostly for the T-Shack services, but it's not going to hurt you to write in who's providing your TDHCA services either. And just like with the others, I put the 2 that could go on forever, that will count as a point. So then that's left with just 2 other points that you need. Okay, on-site library. Again, a lot of y'all started this during COVID. And if you don't have it started, let me know. If you need books on quilting, Nina had like 3 bags delivered / donated of those, so we can work on getting those to your property if you want to need those. You know, and similar with the food pantry, have a sign-in, sign-out sheet. Obviously, people will forget, but as we try to encourage them to do it, they will get better. Community garden. Gardens take time. You know, you can count that you're doing it if you have a planning meeting. You can count if you're doing it if you're watering, if you're weeding. Some of them will be like organized meetings, and then some of them will be very loose. You know, Tuesday mornings are the mornings you go out every week and check your garden. Okay. And if this doesn't happen, then you just have to have 3 more services instead of 4 more. 2 more. And just like up here, there are 3 blanks for other T-Shack approved services. Okay. All of the TDHCA services are separate from this. So if you have a birthday party, it does not go down here. If you have a Valentine's craft, it does not go down here. If you have a movie night, it does not go down here. Because for these 3 options, you get from the list of 59 that I sent you. You have 59 choices that could go in those 3 blanks. 59. Like, that's a ton of options. But if it's not on this list, it will not count for these. I will say it again. If it is not on this list of 59 services, it does not count. Whether you put it down here or not, it won't count. If you put Valentine's craft, I'll say, oh, that's great. It doesn't count. So I will ignore it and put in the ones that are valid that I can report to T-Shack. Okay? 59 options. You have to do 4 of them a month, and hopefully these 2 are done for you every month. So you just have to add 2 more. Okay? I cannot stress enough to you that if you're going to write anything in up here, it has to come from these 21 PDHCA services. If you add anything in these 3 boxes down here, it has to come from these 59 PSHAC services. Okay? If you need me to email you this again, because you can't find it, you know, and I will. Because at the end of December, when I submitted the service plan to TSHAC, I told them all the things we were hoping to do in 2021. So if you have not done your 2021 planning calendar, which would help immensely with the reporting, you at least have this, where it specifically says, oh, we're going to do health and nutritional courses, we're going to partner with Texas AgriLife, and Winwood's contacted Texas AgriLife is what you would work. Okay, they have all the information that they need to put on the report. It's all in this. I tried to do so much to help it be easier for you. So hopefully that helps. And then 2 more things. Lydia had a great question because I have made a kind of tweaked sign-in sheet for home chores, weekly home chores, and weekly exercise. There are different ways you can do it, and I want you to find which one's best for you. So for example, you can have the resident's name and then write the date for whatever date it is that you do it every week, and then you check it off. You can have their name and then either your initials or the maintenance man's initials when they do it. Or you can have, the date at the top and then either check or initial every week when you do your home chores. And same thing with weekly exercise. You could have this on a clipboard and have the dates on the top, and then the residents, when they come, they'll sign their sign-in sheet. And last thing, I can't find a regular sign-in sheet. But just remember, on the normal sign-in sheet, it has this blank for what service it is. The blank needs to say the service name. That is in the language from the agency. So if it is a TDHCA service, it needs to say the TDHCA language. Okay? If it's twice weekly, if it's twice monthly social activities, it just needs to say social activity. You don't need to say Valentine's party and sing along and la 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 la. Okay? It needs to say social. If you want to add the rest, you can, but it just needs to say exactly what the activity is when we are going to be monitored so they can see it. Okay, same with the TSHAC services. It needs to say hurricane safety class. And say the handsome officer from the fire department came and did a presentation. What was the presentation? Hurricane safety. Okay. I know there's a steep learning curve. I know this is all new. And please just know that we're here to help you. We want this to get easier. It will get easier as you get into your routine. But hopefully this clears some stuff up. And if you still have questions, please ask me. I was pretty much happy to have these reports just turned into me this month. Moving forward, I will start to be a little more particular, and I'll reply and say, this is missing, this is missing, I don't know what this is, which is a great reason why we need to have it to me on time. so I can get the reports done for T-Chef on time, because I do not want to have to chase you down. You can do this. I'm here to help you. Call or email me with any questions, and keep up the great work.